going to go ahead and call the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Poplar Bluff, Missouri to be held on Monday, March 4th, 2024 at 7 p.m. in the City Council chambers. Our invocation tonight will be from Pastor James Capps. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'd like to thank the council for inviting us to come. Dear Heavenly Father, we come on behalf of this council, Lord, seeking your will, that everything will be said and done. Lord, I ask and pray, Lord, that you be with our servicemen and women, our missionaries, they go from day to day, Lord, to continue to place your hand upon them. Lord, we ask and pray, Lord, that you just continue to be with the city of Poplar Bluff, Lord, that you would just continue to bless the efforts that are put forward and everything that's done. Lord, I ask and pray that you just continue to watch over our law enforcement officers and the firemen as they also go day by day. Lord, you know the needs of the city, you know the need of the council here tonight. Lord, I ask and pray that they just seek your will in each and everything, every decision that they need to make. Thank you again for this day and for everything. Go with us, lead, guide, and direct. And Lord, again, we give you the glory and honor and praise, and thank you for all you bless that each and every one of us with each and every day. Lead, guide, and direct, not our will, but your will be done. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Roll call, Clerk Phelps.
Councilwoman Parson?
Here.
Councilwoman Horton?
Here.
Councilman Smith?
Here.
Councilman Massingham?
Here.
Councilman DePew?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Fox? Here. Mayor Cornman?
Here.
We have 7 present.
Item 5, disclosure of interest. Any member of the City Council may disclose any possible conflict of interest during or dealing with either any item on the printed agenda or with any matter discussed at a previous meeting. Seeing none, item 6, our citizens' input. Each person in the audience may take this opportunity to address the City Council on any matter which is not on the printed agenda. Mr. Barrett, would you like to come on up? Go ahead and give us your name and address for the record.
My name is Michael Barrett. I live at 2407 South Ball Lane. I want to thank this council for allowing me to come and speak. This is not my first time to speak at council, and like I was telling Matt before the meeting, hopefully this time I won't get volunteered to do some things, but Matt's really good at that kind of stuff. But I really appreciate this council, Matt and Robert. I've worked deeply with, and I hope in the future you as well, Shane. I live on Ball Lane now. I'm 2 houses from O'Neill School. My whole reason for coming and for speaking to the council today is because I feel that we have a problem in our city that is dangerous to the schools and to the school, and specifically to our special ed students who load and unload the bus at O'Neill School 3 times a day. On February the 5th, I was attacked by a neighbor's dog. And this is not the first time this dog attacked. This is not the first time that this dog had been reported. These are neighbors in my neighborhood that have come to support me because they've been attacked by the animal. They've tried to report the animal. On February the 5th, this animal bit through a thick Carhartt winter jacket that I had on, and to the bone in my wrist, because it got me by surprise. I mean, I walk that street about 3 times a day. Robert, you might remember about 4 years ago, I was about 60 pounds heavier. You know, well, I walk a bit. And I didn't have time. The first time that animal attacked me, I was able to kind of control him. The second time, it bit my dog in the nose. And then this time, it got me good. Got me real good. The animal was picked up. It was quarantined for 10 working days, just like the law. I have the law in front of me here. It's the state law 578-024, if you wonder about it. It's a law for keeping a dangerous dog. Penalties for that is A person commits an offense of keeping a dangerous dog if he or she owns or possesses an animal that previously has bitten a person or domestic animal without provocation, and that dog bites a person on a subsequent occasion. According to this law, that first offense can be a Class B misdemeanor. The second offense can be a Class A misdemeanor. It can run into a Class E felony if somebody's killed. I told Animal Control, whenever I was finally able to get them, when they came down to urgent care, because I was down there being treated because of all this, I was bleeding like a stuck hog. Bad. And so I called the police department because you can't get a hold of Animal Control. All these guys will tell you, you call Animal Control and it goes, "We're sorry, no one is here to take your call." And you leave a message and, "We're sorry, nobody usually responds to us." But if I call the police station, then they will respond. Then the police station will call them and they'll get out there. The big thing about Missouri dog laws and dog bite laws is that Missouri is now a strict, how's it go? It used to be a one bite law, but now the laws are changed. And now it's strict liability. It's not as hard for a person that's attacked to seek damages. I at first did not want damages. At first, I wasn't even going to get this. My insurance paid about $500 for me to get treated, not to mention the cost of the antibiotics that I was on, and the tetanus shot, and the antibiotic shot, and you name it. But the thing that scares me to death, if this animal, which is capable of coming, and I had time to put my arm up like this, and he got me. He was going after my neck. And if it had been David's little boy, Andrew, is about this tall, and David lives one house over from him, if it goes after his little boy, what's it going after? And then I told Animal Control about all this. I'm saying, this animal needs to be taken care of. At urgent care, I was told that the dog would be quarantined for 10 working days, which I was told that it was. Then the animal was given back to him. Why? The animal control officer told me, he said, "Well, there's a lot of liabilities." I understand that, but we have a vicious animal in our neighborhood. Now, I was asked, Councilman Cornman asked me the breed of the dog. This neighbor has told at least me and my wife, and I think other of the neighbors, that this animal is part wolf. Part wolf. Why does anybody that's 50 feet away from where the special ed buses are, why do they need an animal like that? And now here's the thing that we're scared to death. One of these special ed kids at O'Neill School is going to get killed. I told the officer I feared that animal could kill a child. Everybody in this neighborhood was happy that it had attacked me and not a child. So, and I see my time is running out. I ask that this council consider this and get a hold of our control officers and that this animal be put down. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do want to just get, there is an animal control board meeting that's been scheduled for this issue.
There is.
They told me when it was. I don't remember what the date.
It's on the 12th.
Okay.
And here's the thing, and this is something that I, of course, didn't have time to get into, but they sent me a letter, and I would go, except for one thing. And these neighbors here will verify for me. Since that day, I was attacked. Now then, I've been cussed half the time whenever I'm walking the streets, because now, apparently, because I threatened to defend myself against this animal if I ever seen it out again, now I've threatened this person's entire family, which is a lie. I'm a school teacher. I threaten nobody. I got no reason to threaten anybody. But I do have reason to protect myself if I'm walking, and I've been told, according to the laws of Missouri, I have the right to do that. If the animal attacks me again, I'm usually carrying my hunting knife now. Is that a good thing? I don't know, but I feel safer. So, and I know that there's going to be an animal control board meeting on the 12th. And I called City Hall and I asked about it. I said, is this neighbor going to be there? And they said that he was sent a letter also. I understand he has the right to go and defend his animal, while I do not understand why, because this animal needs no defending. It needs to be put down because of the danger of all the children at O'Neill School. There's kids at O'Neill School that have PE behind a fence that is across the street from this dog. And this man has never leashed the animal. He don't even have a fence. There's fences on each side of him that don't belong to him. And I mean, he can be fined, according to Missouri law, up to $1,000. Has he been fined? Did he pay for caring for this animal when it was detained for 10 days? I mean, I can't find that out. It's not really any of my business. Maybe that's a good thing that you guys should find out, you know, because just like I told the animal control officer, it's going to be a horrible, horrible thing when some parent is asking that officer after their child is laying there on a stretcher because this animal has attacked it. You know, why didn't you pick him up when you had a chance? Why didn't you put this dog down according to law when you could have?
Thank you, Mr. Barrett. Let's give Ms. Rexroth an opportunity to talk to. Appreciate your time.
Thank
and
you, Shane.
we know it's serious. We're going to take a really deep look at this. So.
I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Like I say, I knew that this council would hear me, and I really appreciate every one of you.
All right, we appreciate it.
Can I ask a question really quick?
Go ahead,
Not
Jen.
necessarily to him, but the meeting is March 12th. Is that what you all said? Where is that held at and what time?
Police department.
Okay.
Yeah, that one will be held at the police department. I think there was something.
I forgot what time it is. I couldn't find it on my phone.
If you'll just share that with me before, I'd like to attend just to hear that.
I'm the council liaison.
Okay.
Ms. Rexroth, could you give your name and your address, please?
Barbara Rexroth, and I'm at 2220 Lee Street. I'm down the street from where this dog lives, and the only way to exit my street is past his house. I'm afraid to walk my street. I used to walk up the street and then go for a walk in my neighborhood. Now I walk through the cul-de-sac, through my neighbor's yard, and go another direction because it's come after me, it's come after my dog, and I've had, then the owner comes out and chases it around, picks up a stick and starts beating the dog. I'm watching this man beat his dog, and I'm going, you don't beat a dog, it just makes it mean. He didn't care. He has never had this dog under control. I've never seen it on a leash. If I see it, it's out loose, running around. You never know when it's going to be out. It might be a couple of weeks before I see it, but then it's out again and it's dangerous. It's not on a leash, it's not in a fenced yard. And I have no reason to trust that this man would keep this dog confined, because for the last, I think he's had it 2 or 3 years, I'm not sure. It's never been on a leash. It's never been confined, other than confined in the house. So I just, and it's charged our cars. You could ask every person on the street if you went down and talked to them. They'll tell you that it's chased the cars too, because it's loose. Like I said, I'm tired of it. I can't walk my own street without fear, and I never know if it's going to be out or not. And that's all I have to say. I'm just fed up with it, and I love dogs. I volunteer at AWA, the Animal Welfare Alliance place, because I love dogs. But this isn't fair to this dog, and it's not fair to us.
Thank you, Mrs. Rexroth.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I might ask the city manager, I don't know if we can do this or not, since this meeting's 9 days from now, that animal control go ahead and pick that dog up and hold it until after the animal control meeting and see what decision is. I don't know if we can do that or not, but I mean, like they said, with kids running around.
I would say if it's an option, it needs to be,
I do too.
yeah, it needs to be taken. If it's an option, we can.
If it's
we
an
can do it,
option.
yeah.
I mean, if it's running loose,
I would tend
Yeah,
to
if it's
agree
running
with
loose, it can be picked up, because we do have a leash law, so.
we have leash laws.
We do.
you. I would tend to agree with you. I don't know what the thought of the attorney is on that. Is that something that we could probably do? Because we have probable cause right now, and you know, it's reasonable that this dog has attacked some folks?
I don't think we have the authority to pick it up immediately and confine it without granting some due process, but I think we can accelerate that due process. And I also think that animal control could probably have talked with this owner. Say, if this dog's outside the house, we're gonna grab it, and we're taking it in, and we're holding it until this meeting.
All right. Is that,
So if a neighbor saw him out in the yard, they can, but I mean, that's the thing, apparently getting hold of animal control must be an issue.
Yeah, I think I've tried calling on another issue. I had someone call me on, I think the limited hours, they're only open, I think 11 to 3 a few days a week. Because they're out patrolling, and I get that. We don't have someone in office, to be able to take those calls really
I think
anymore.
under these circumstances, I'm sure our police chief would be willing to use his more abundant staff to step in and help with that.
Sure,
I would totally be in support of that.
I would too.
yeah. It sounds like it'd be pretty easy to catch this dog off the leash and pick it up. If animal control officers were given the authority that the next time it was seen to pick it up.
What about reported animal abuse also for him beating the dog? I mean, he probably needs to be beaten for doing that. But, that's animal abuse. If a person's beating a dog, I don't know if you'd want to go that way also or not.
Yeah, and Ms. Rexroth said that she'd witnessed it personally, so we obviously have some evidence of that.
And this is an issue that's not going to go away unless something is done immediately. Because these folks are really concerned, and this gentleman being bit, I've talked to him a number of times on this issue, and we really need to act on it soon.
The proximity to the school is the most concerning. That's the part that really just sticks out, I think, to probably most of us. Not downplaying what happened to you or any of the people, but the kids are pretty defenseless. And if something goes haywire there, then it could be bad for everybody. So.
Well, and if he's being treated that way, that's probably what's making it worse.
It sounds like he's been taught.
He's been taught to be aggressive.
Yeah.
I would say.
Any other questions, guys? All right. We appreciate it. We're going to get on it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Just for item 7, consent agenda. The items of the consent agenda are approved by a single action of the City Council. If any council member would like to have an item removed from the consent agenda and considered separately, he or she may request to do so.
Mr. Mayor, the items listed below, we all received those in our packets. And with that being said, I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8, workshop items for discussion. Item A, the City Council will consider proposals received for financing services for a skid cutter and utility tractor. Manager Winters.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So we recently advertised for financing proposals to finance the purchase of a skid steer and attachments for the airport and a new tractor and attachments for the street department. The total amount to be financed will be $212,825. We received 8 proposals for financing options. Clayton Holdings LLC, which is Commerce Bank, had the lowest rate for a 5-year term at 4.88%. With that, the annual payments will be $47,101 a year for 5 years, with the first payment being due in May of 2024. We've had some backhoes financed that we're making a $36,000 annual payment on. We've made the final payment on those, so that debt is going away. Kind of looking at this, replacing that would be $11,000 more than what we had been paying for those backhoes. The equipment would be for the street department and some equipment for the airport. Mr. Lawson and Mr. Pride are both here if you'd like to hear more information specifically about what they are purchasing. I'm sure they'd be glad to come up and talk to you about their specific requests, their specific items. I am asking that you workshop and vote on this item tonight. The quotes, the rates quoted by Clayton Holdings, that does expire on March 12th, and after that date, they would increase.
And I guess that 11,000 overpayment has already been adjusted in the budget.
Yes.
Make a motion to move this to the voting session held tonight.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, the city council will consider bids received for various city-owned vacant properties. Manager Winters?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this, back a couple years ago, we bought several vacant lots that had past due taxes and also had city liens on them. We've sold a few of them, taken bids on them, and we've had some out still that we just didn't get bids on originally. Had a gentleman, Mr. Kevin Brown, has offered $100 each for 5 of the lots, and I would recommend that you accept the offer on all 5 of these lots. Kind of if you recall, the whole thought process behind buying them to begin with was, taxes weren't being paid on these lots. A lot of instances we were mowing the grass for them. So to get these lots into somebody else's hands that has plans to build houses on them, not only are taxes going to be paid on them, but then we're also not going to be responsible for making sure they're mowed. So I think it's a win-win for everybody.
I make a motion to move this to the voting session to be held March the 18th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item C, the city council will consider a recommendation from the Municipal Utilities Advisory Board regarding the annual net metering disclosure. Municipal Utilities General Manager Bill Bach.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. To comply with Missouri state statutes regarding net metering, the utility must submit the attached report annually to their governing body and disclose the availability of the net metering program of its customers. Upon council approval, this report will be posted on the city's website. I've attached a copy for your review. I believe you were given this in your packet. For 2023, total number of customer generator facilities was 22. The estimated generating capacity is 275.3 kW, and the purchase energy from that back to utilities is 31,612 kilowatt hours. This was discussed at an earlier advisory board meeting and would recommend the approval of this report. Any questions?
Make a motion, we move this to the March 18th voting session.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item D, the city council will consider a recommendation from the Municipal Utilities Advisory Board regarding a proposed mutual aid agreement with Missouri Public Utilities. Mr. Bach?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, our current agreement was approved in 2006. Recently, FEMA and SEMA updated their mutual aid agreement. MPUA is updating theirs to coincide with FEMA's and SEMA's agreements, which then comes down to the state municipalities, which is us. Again, this was discussed at an earlier advisory board meeting and would recommend the approval of the new mutual aid agreement. Any questions?
I make a motion to move to the voting session to be held March the 18th.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item E, the city council will consider bids received for workers' compensation insurance for the policy year April 1st, 2024 to April 1st, 2025. Manager Winters.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So our workman's compensation insurance renews April 1st. We've received 3 quotes for coverage, a quote from Missouri Employers Mutual of $428,643, a quote from Travelers of $604,850, and a renewal quote from our current carrier, Missouri Rural Services, of $478,375. I would recommend we move our workman's compensation insurance from Missouri Employers Mutual to from Missouri Rural Services to Missouri Employers Mutual with that significant savings.
Make a motion to move that to the March 18th voting session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9, action required item, AA Bill Number 8536. The City Council will take action on an ordinance accepting a proposal for financing services for a skid cutter and utility tractor.
Motion for first reading of bill number 8536. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance accepting a proposal from Clayton Holdings LLC for the financing of a skid cutter and a utility tractor under a lease purchase agreement relating to the Poplar Bluff Airport and the Street Department.
Make a motion for a second reading.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Counselor?
An ordinance accepting a proposal from Clayton Holdings LLC for the financing of a skid cutter and a utility tractor under a lease purchase agreement relating to the Poplar Bluff Airport and the Street Department.
Motion for adoption of bill number 8536.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? Roll call, Clerk Phelps.
Councilwoman Parson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Horton?
Yes.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Councilman Massingham?
Yes.
Councilman DePew?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Fox?
Yes.
Mayor Cornman?
Yes.
7 yes votes.
Bill number 8536 has been adopted. Item 10, our city manager's report from Mr. Winters.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's a month from today is the solar eclipse. There's been a lot of work and a lot of folks involved in what's really going to be a great weekend for the city of Poplar Bluff. I'm getting heckled from the audience. I'm not sure why.
It's the 8th.
Well, it's 4 Mondays from today. It's the first Monday in April, or the second Monday in April. April the 8th is the upcoming solar eclipse.
You got to watch these departments.
I know it, right? We're going to start having closed meetings, no department heads allowed. But anyway, there's been a lot of folks involved and a lot of work that's kind of all coming together here pretty quick and pretty soon. There's things going on at Three Rivers College, things going on at the library, at Rogers Theater. Of course, we have Night Ranger on Saturday night and Jeff Foxworthy on Sunday night. There's a music festival downtown. And lots of other local businesses and organizations, different churches are having events, especially the day of the eclipse. So, one of the biggest resources we have is the Total Eclipse of the Bluff Facebook page. They list a lot of the upcoming events, and that we'll be sharing through our social media pages as we get closer. But it's really going to be an exciting weekend, and leading up to that with all the events going on. We're getting news coverage from Springfield and St. Louis and even the Wall Street Journal this last week. So there's lots of people talking about all the things that we have going on in Poplar Bluff, and it's an exciting event. But like I said, lots of, from all of our city departments that have been involved in the planning and the preparation that's going on behind the scenes, to the folks at the chamber and like I said, the college and the library and lots of different organizations. I'm not even going to try to name them all because I'll miss some of them, but it's a really exciting event. One of the things that's coming up before then that I hope that we can all participate in on March 23rd, we've partnered with the city, the county, the Parks Department, the Community Resource Council, several other groups, and planned a day to go out and clean up our community before all these people come to Poplar Bluff for the eclipse. We've got some cleaning up to do. And so on March 23rd from 7 to 8 o'clock, we're going to serve breakfast in the lobby of the Coliseum for anybody that wants to volunteer and go pick up trash that day. We'll have vests and trash bags and gloves. Missouri Highlands has donated several sharp boxes for anybody, crews that go out, if they encounter any needles, that they'll have the sharp containers to pick them up in. And then at noon, after everybody's done, we'll come back here to the Coliseum and have lunch provided for all of them. Be a good day to show our community pride and like I said, lots of we'll have some areas that we're going to ask people to go to, some of the high traffic, high volume areas that we're going to ask people to go out to. We've also, in the city, we've got the city Adopt a Street program that all of those folks are going to be getting information emailed and sent out to them, so they can, focus on their neighborhoods and their streets that they've adopted. The MoDOT is sending out notices to all of those people that coming in and out of town that have adopted a highway through MoDOT. They're all going to be getting contacted and notified about this event. So it'll be a good day to get out and show some community pride and put a little work in cleaning things up before we have a lot of visitors, and it needs to be done anyway. So
I've had some people reach out to me. Will they be, when we meet here that morning, will they be given an area?
yes, we'll have some maps and some areas that that we're going to recommend and ask people to focus on. Yeah. But like I said, there's also with our Adopt a Street program, if there's something in particular that they have I know you're passionate about the south side of town. If they're specifically, they want to focus on a certain place, then, we're glad to have anybody that wants to help that day. So, but yeah, we will have some maps and some areas marked out where we're going to ask people to go. Yeah.
I mean, that's my passion, but
Well, and there's
we want to
definitely.
make sure we get the thoroughfare mainly. You know what I mean? If we have over months of people show up,
Yeah.
that would be great if we got all parts of town
That's right.
done. But we mainly surely want to get the thoroughfare done.
And the Sears Youth Center is going to be sending some folks that day, but they're also going to be doing some of that stuff outside of that specific day. So if there are areas that don't get attention, that they're going to be able to help us out outside of just that one specific time. So, and with other resources too. So, yeah. Mr. Boyer.
I just, on that topic, I was just driving down the north edge of town on 60, and I know MoDOT's gone through there with some masticating machine and just shredded the trees on both sides of the highway there, clear out towards Dexter. But there's also lots of trash and old recaps and tires and trash and everything thrown off the side. Is MoDOT in part of this?
Yes, MoDOT
project?
is involved in this as well.
That might be one area you might
Yes,
want to
they
ask
are.
them to really concentrate on, because that's a huge mess.
That's all I have, sir.
All right. Well, if there's no further business to come before the council, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Matt, I had a question. When